Welcome to our next business tips video. There's currently an agri-environment scheme open at the moment. The deadline for this is the 30th of June. Remember, you can find out more information by visiting the Rural Payments website or by contacting your local advisor. That's it from me, but keep watching for the next part of our video.
Hi there folks, my name's Alexander Perry. I'm an agricultural consultant with SAC Consulting working out of Ayrshire. Today is part 5 of our New Start to Agriculture series, and I'll be giving my top tips for those of you who might be involved in some kind of contract or share farming agreement. For those of you who might be new to the concept of contract or share farming, I'll just give a brief overview of what's actually involved. A standard contract farming agreement is an understanding between two parties, one of them being a landowner or an occupier, engaging the services of another, often referred to as a contractor, to undertake farming operations over a fixed period of time. And these typically or generally can be kind of 3 to 5 years or on pre-arranged terms. Conversely, a share farming agreement, share farming is an agreement between two independent businesses, and it's often confused with contract farming, but there are some differences. These typically involve two totally separate businesses working on the same plot of land. And as separate businesses, they take a share in the value of the farm output rather than providing fees or shares of net profit. We're just at the end of the application window for the single application form or the basic payment scheme. So top tip of today is that it's absolutely vital that all parties involved in your joint venture farming agreement understand what has been claimed and that what information has been provided and that there's good levels of communication and trust there. It's also an ideal time to take a look and evaluate the number of entitlements held by any particular business, just to make sure that you're maximizing your claim potential and that you're not in danger of losing anything. It's important for the longevity of any agreement that you have a good working relationship and that there are good, strong ties and trust there between all parties. And I mentioned that the basic payment scheme, avoiding double claims is really important and can really put a strain on working relationships. So it's really, really crucial that you have good lines of communication. Being an unconventional but increasingly popular way of acquiring land and starting your journey in farming, it's important that you make the best use of support mechanisms that are out there for contract and share farming. And these can include a range of materials provided by the Farm Advisory Service and specific FAS funding for mentoring, as well as other materials that are out there. Again, knowing what you want and being bold and being clear about that is really important. In contract farming agreements, it's really important that careful consideration is made about the division of assets, costs, labour, responsibilities, and this should all be clear for everybody involved. Having a written farming agreement for share farming agreements is not simply sufficient enough and is not proper evidence for share farming agreements. You need to be clear that every effort is being made to implement this plan and that it can't be construed as some other form of legal documentation. Genuine share farming by contractual agreement is not a tenancy and subsequently avoids the associated rights and obligations governed by such legislation. I would just encourage anyone interested in joint venture farming to take a look at the Scottish Land Matching Service for advice and support. It's a really fantastic range. We've worked with them as part of the Farm Advisory Service in the past, and it can be a really great first step to get you on that ladder for those who are at the very beginning of their journey. And finally, I'd just like to say that if you have any questions about contract or share farming, joint venture farming in general, you can access a range of materials or advice through the Farm Advisory Service at the fas.scot website.